Complaint with the Board of Education Office of Civil Rights. How long have y'all had y'all complaining?
Since I've been involved, and
Okay,
I just got involved
all right,
this
all
month
right.
with last month.
Have anybody suggested going to the SBI, or have y'all been? Have you been to the SBI?
Not yet.
You haven't been to the
That's
SBI.
our next step.
How long have you been involved in Stackhouse?
Since January.
Of this year?
Yes.
And she's been a blessing in disguise because we was always told that, we couldn't file any complaints. We couldn't file any appeals. We've been told that by the school board. We've been told that with the principal, the vice principal.
But you can file a complaint with the Department of Education, Office of Civil Rights,
the first time,
the Sheriff's Department, anybody?
Yeah, with nobody. They always turned us away, always. And this is why we always recorded everything.
Did y'all ever make a written complaint to the school board? Y'all ever make a written complaint to the school board?
We never made it a written complaint.
They didn't until I got it.
Right.
Okay.
But that was the reason why we always documented everything
and recorded.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Did the school board ever express to you that you could make a written complaint?
No.
They never did.
They basically they told us whatever decision Mr. Bowie made that that was what was going to be final. Also, I wanted to add a Native American child basically told my son that he was going to said he was going to F his sister, and when he told us that, my wife called up there, I called up there, same thing, it's going to be investigated, nothing is done about it. I mean, it's constantly, my son feels like he has to protect our other kids, and he's always been like that, so because of all the complaints that they've tried to make and they have the door shut in their face, what they do is they go tell Corey, and Corey will approach the other child, and tell him, leave my brother or my sister alone. And, if it get pushed to the next level, then, it becomes altercation,
Before the first day, did either one of y'all attend the school orientation? Did they have an orientation before the first day of school?
They were coming in 2 months after the school had already started.
Oh, the school had already started.
Yeah, the school had already started.
When school started, did they? Well, they still could give y'all orientation.
Yeah.
But did they give y'all any parent handbooks or any student handbooks?
Student handbook.
They gave you student.
It was one student handbook, and you had to sign the thing and rip the paper out and give back to them. But I have a student handbook.
Okay.
You
like
received that at
one
the
of my
beginning of
children.
the year.
Yes.
That when they were going through all their process, they were never given what you're asking is the opportunity to due process. They've never been offered that opportunity. They've never been instructed they had a right to due process.
Okay.
School board policy again states that is their job. That's what they're supposed to do. Remember, we had this conversation.
Okay.
And so that's what we demanded when we filed our complaint.
Okay.
So that was when we were able to have a meeting with 4 of the school board superintendents. 4 of them at one time decided, along with the superintendent, that they would meet with the Newkirks after I brought them to the school board and said we need to have a meeting.
When was that?
What date was that on? You guys remember? I don't have my notes with me. It was just recently. Because this is what happened. And I'll let them elaborate on that. But the Newkirks contact me. When they contact me, they contact me with information that their son, he hasn't been held back. He just turned 15 in November. But he started the school late. Principals do have the authority to assign. But Jonathan Blue was going to take this child and not even let him complete his 8th grade assignment. He was going to move him, dump him this semester into the high school system, not even allowing him to complete the 8th grade. He can't do that. He has to be allowed to at least have failed that grade once. So when we brought that to the school board's attention, they rescinded that because they had already put him out and withdrawn him from the school. That was to get rid of the problem.
Okay.
Get rid of him, you get rid of the problem, so to speak.
So they
Parents
putting
making
him out of
noise,
school.
Putting him, get you away from me. Parents making noise now. We got to get rid of this problem.
Okay.
So when we challenged them on that, they decided to leave because that wasn't best for him to move him. You
That's
have
right.
a child that hasn't even completed the 8th grade.
That's right.
Right.
He has a learning
And he,
disability.
right,
Okay,
he has
so
an
he do
IEP.
have the IEP.
Yes, he has.
All right.
He has an IEP.
And they
So
expelled
we're
him
working-
from the school.
No, yeah,
Mm.
This
he's
year.
been expelled a total. They can only, and I share with the Newkirks, your son can only be expelled 10 times without having a due process, which would be a manifestation determination.
Exactly.
And they never did that. Now he
Okay.
had been expelled a total of 13 times that I saw in his school records when I reviewed them.
Mhm.
The ones his attendance.
Mhm.
Because they did point out to me that those were the days based on the documents that they have of suspensions that they received. It was a total of 13 that I was able to count.
Okay.
But the child's rights have been violated,
Okay, thank you.
and
I was-
no doubt.
Yeah, we know now.
No doubt. No doubt.
But this thing is strange. What is this you talking about that you had to pull the
Oh, when they give you the student handbook, it's like in the back of the paper, the kids have to bring it back to school. It's the back piece of paper. You just gotta rip it out and sign it, saying it. I guess you received it.
Okay.
Yeah, and the only thing like the kids will say, they'll keep it to look when they have days off and stuff like that. But we didn't know about anything that we could file with. We thought us going into the school board and us complaining to the principal that something would be done, but nothing was done. We didn't know about writing anything
So you
until
felt-
we met Ms. Stackhouse.
You felt like you said earlier, you were deterred from filing complaints or going any further. Why did you feel deterred? What made you feel deterred from making those official complaints and things like that?
Okay, last year, I can't recall the exact time, but we did go into the school board, and that's when we met with Mr. Jackson. And like I said, he said to us, how do you know your son isn't the problem? And we were brushed under the rug. Nothing was done about it. We told him everything that was going on, everything we had complaints about. We have been into the school numerous times.
But
and
all the
filed
times that your son was complaining of him being bullied, what actions did they take with you? Did anybody call you, take any procedures, do anything to stop the bullying of any kind?
No, my son has been suspended numerous times because of these actions. And when I
But
said
on
to them,
your son's behalf, when your son was
Nothing.
complaining of bullying,
nothing has been done. There's been times where I've picked my son up from school when I used to pick them up last year, and this little boy would be sticking his middle finger up at my son. I witnessed it. I called the principal, the assistant principal. Nothing is done anytime that we complain. That's why I got to the point where I said we need to call the NAACP because this is getting out of hand. Now with the last incident, the principal, what had happened that we really complained about is the incident with my daughter. A Native American boy said to her, he tapped her on her shoulder, they was at assembly. He said, "Are you black?" And she said, "Yes." He said, "This is all Native American school. You don't belong here. You need to go back to where you came from." So she went and told her older brother, which he is the protector of his siblings. And my son went and said something to the little boy that if he messes with his sister again, that they're going to have problems. So they decided they were going to suspend my son for communicating a threat. They're pressing charges against him.
they pressing charges
Yes.
against him.
Nothing was done to the little boy who said the comment to my daughter. So we have complained and complained. We went up to the school and complained. So I guess they got tired of us complaining when Mr. Blue sends the letter saying, throughout the school year, your son Corey Newkirk's academic and behavioral problems have become a matter of increasing concern. Give his physical size, his age, his documented problems, and his needs for special services, I am on this date, January 24th, 2012, exercising my, statutory authority, general statute, to place him in the 9th grade. And he told us, now we did tell him we wanted to file an appeal. That's when he said the school board was backing him. There's nothing we could do about it.
So you told him you want to file an appeal,
yes, we did.
And he told you
that his decision is final. The school board is backing him.
And there's nothing they can be done.
Nothing that we could do. That's when we called Ms. Stackhouse. She went to the school board with us that next week, and that's when they decided they will keep him in the school.
Where are we now with the process?
Our son goes to court tomorrow for being charged with communicating a threat. I just want to add, I spoke to Brock Chavis last week.
Who is Brock Chavis?
He is the school resource officer. Now, he never even talked to my son about this incident, never asked him what was his side, and I asked him why didn't he do that, and he told me because we wrote a letter saying that we didn't want our child being questioned without one of us being, present.
Which you can do that.
Right. Now, this letter, we never gave the school the letter until February the 3rd, 2012. This incident happened way before then.
Even so, they still could have made arrangements to talk to you.
Oh yeah,
and
because
talk to our son. He never even asked him what was his side of the story. They just
Suspended him, and nothing was done to the other students.
So no real investigation.
No.
and Brock has been to our home since this incident, questioning one of our other kids about something totally different. So he just, it's
So something totally different. What was totally different?
basically once again,
Another person's complaint?
3 Native Americans kids, I guess, convinced my daughter to touch a fire extinguisher, and whenever she touched it, I guess he said some water or something came out of it, but he was saying that now my daughter, she makes straight A's.
So wait a minute. So now they're investigating some wrong actions of your daughter. Now the wrong actions of your daughter actually got them to come out to your house, and now they're talking to somebody.
Right.
Now they're talking to y'all with y'all's daughter.
Right.
But for whatever reason, that same process couldn't happen when y'all made the complaints. He never showed up at your doorsteps to investigate anything your son complained about. Okay. Yeah.
And if I can say, this is how it's been the whole time. Anything that my son does, the other student is never punished. Excessive punishment is taken towards my son. If I can, he's been suspended. It says disruptive behavior, failure to follow instructions. Adult, what does it say? Adult class disruption. Does that say adult? Yes, it does. I don't know why. But he was suspended for that. And they suspend him for 3 days or more. If he never receives ISS, never, not once.
He's been suspended.
Aggressive behavior, they'll suspend him for.
Like 3 or 4 times, he's been suspended because of him defending himself with kids making racial comments.
And any time, nothing.
I didn't hear you though.
He's been suspended 3 to 4 times for defending himself because of kids making racial comments to him. Nothing happens to the kid, the child that makes the comments, but my son always gets suspended, and it's one incident in particular. They suspended my son. Basically, Mr. Blue called me and said, well, we're going to suspend your son and he might get locked up because he brought drug paraphernalia to school. And I said, well, what was it? My son had put lemon Kool-Aid in a bag with sugar, like dipping his finger in there, like a dipstick.
Right.
And basically he suspended him for it. Now I said,
Now did they actually have it investigated, found as drug paraphernalia?
no, Mr. Blue, he actually drank some of it. And my son, one of his friends witnessed that. Now, what I thought was crazy about this situation, I say probably a month or 2 later, the same boy that punched my son in the back of the head that they wouldn't allow us to press charges, you know, kept trying to bully him into selling drugs, you know,